Yeah, and welcome to Birdland. Thank you. Before we begin, just a reminder, kindly keep our conversations to a minimum. There is no audio or video recording permitted. You're more than welcome to take photos without a flash, out of courtesy. For those seated behind you, kindly keep your cameras at eye level. Thank you. Giordano and the Nighthawks.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Birdland. Hello there. We're the Nighthawks, music of the 1920s and 30s, and I'm your band leader for this segment. My name is Vince Giordano. Thank you. Wow. We started out with a little fanfare. It was written by the great Jimmy McHugh back in 1936 or 7 for the Universal Film Company called Universal Fanfare. And we like to play it, gets everybody going, and gets our wonderful drummer Paul Wells going back there with his timpani. Yes. Okay, yeah. We're ready to march on. And we segued into a song that was played by the great Joe King Oliver, a wonderful New Orleans trumpet man. This is one of his, sort of get to the end of his recording career, 1929 or so. It was transcribed by Herb Gardner many, many years ago. We had Joe Boga playing all those King Oliver notes. Matt Musselman on the trombone. Yeah. Mark Lobin on the tenor saxophone. Yeah. Peter Yaron at the piano. And I think that's everybody. And that was called Too Late. Too Late. All right. You're not too late because we're here. We have a nice crowd here at West 44th Street at Birdland, and we also have a nice crowd on the internet. Really, we are live streaming. They're out there live streaming, and for you folks out there, it's older folks, it's like broadcasting, you know. We have the cameras going and the microphones all warmed up, and if you'd like to invite any of your friends or family out there in the internet land, just say go to YouTube and type in Radio Free Birdland. We do that every Tuesday at 5:30 New York time. All right. Hey, here's a hot one that nobody has recorded because it was 1932 when this song was written by a fellow named Joe Trent, composer that worked with Louis Alter. He worked with Duke Ellington, and he wrote some songs on his own. This is something called It's Hallelujah Time, and hallelujah, we're here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hallelujah time. Hallelujah, we made it here. Okay. John Kelso on the hot trumpet. And we got Sam Bartfeld joining us on the violin. How you doing, Sam? Long time no see. Okay. And Mark Wilbin on the tenor. And Matt Musselman, did you have a few notes there?
Yes.
You did, okay. That's what I figured. Okay. Here's a song that was written by the great Irving Berlin. He wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs, I would imagine. I never counted them, but everything from like even before the teens, like about 1910 and 11, he started and went up to the, I believe, the 60s. All kinds of funny songs, you know, and patriotic songs and sad songs, waltzes. And here's a hot one that I like to play once in a while. It's called How Many Times? And How Many Times was one of the first recordings that Harold Arlen sang on it. Harold Arlen was from Buffalo, New York, and he came down from Buffalo with his band called the Buffalodians. What else, you know? and he made a vocal on it. I wish Harold Arlen was here to sing it, but he couldn't make it. Anyway, here it is, Irving Berlin's How Many Times? 1, 2, 1, 2. Have you said I love you? How many times have you said I'll be true? How many wonderful sweeties have you told that to? How many times a certain feeling troubled you that you hit the ceiling? How many hands have you held all alone? How many lips have you pressed to your own? Hate to think that you kissed too many, feel much worse than you haven't kissed any. Please tell me how many times? By Irving Berlin. And you might have noticed that 3 of our reed men picked up some interesting instruments there. They're called soprano saxophones, all 3 of them. And I always like to talk about soprano saxophone. You know, some people hate it and some people love it. And so if you get 3 of them, then you could really hate it or you really love it or something like that. Sidney Bechet, of course, was the big guy in the early days of jazz, and he had everybody from up to John Coltrane played it. And when we first started this band, a young gentleman came to see us and said, I play a little soprano saxophone and I'd love to sit in with you guys as well. Okay, but this is way back, like back in the late 70s. So I let him sit in, and he was pretty good. You know, I had no idea who he was. He left and said goodbye, and it turns out he became Kenny G. And so that's, pretty impressive. But he never comes around anymore. Nah, he's too busy. Someday he'll come in. So anyway, sort of an homage, I made up a little thing here, and I renamed my 3 reed players. We've got Kenny X, Kenny Y, and Kenny Z. There you go. So there you go. Okay. That's the comedy. Sorry. So back to music. I know. They love it. Everybody loves Kenny G. I mean, someday I'm going to make that album with him. You'll see. Soprano sax and bass saxophone, and no one will buy it. Back in the 20s, Duke Ellington was here in New York, first playing with rather obscure bands like the Wilbur Sweatman Band. Wilbur Sweatman was a wonderful, talented reed player who used to play 3 clarinets at the same time. I've got pictures of it. I have not heard it. I wonder how good it sounded. Anyway, maybe as good as the 3 soprano saxophones. Anyway, he got in a place right around where we are now on West the 40s, called the Kentucky Club, and started writing music. And here's one of his early compositions called Sweet Mama. And here it is, another Herb Gardner transcription. 2, 1, 2, 3, on the clarinet, and Matt Musselman on the trombone. I used to hear those duets, and it was pretty friendly duet too, you know, which was nice. And then we had some alto saxophone from Will Anderson. Will. Hey, Will. I hope you get your microphone. Could you tell us some good news about your upcoming gig here at Birdland?
Yes, Uncle Vince, I think I can. I will be leading a show here at Birdland upstairs on October 20th, celebrating the great bandleader Benny Goodman with a 15-piece orchestra, and I'm going to be joined by my identical twin brother, Peter. In case anyone's wondering, Peter and I are former roommates, and we're also former womb mates. So check that out upstairs on October 20th, celebrating Benny Goodman. Thank you. Also wanted to mention, back there after the show, we have a merchandise cart with various products sold by a lot of the different band members. I have something, you may have heard of it. It's called a book, and I wrote it. It's called Songbook Summit, 15 Pioneers of American Sound. It chronicles the life stories of many of America's great songwriters and musicians, many of which we'll be saluting tonight. And I just want to let you know that I did not use any AI when I wrote this book. It's all organic, non-GMO human writing. Thank you.
Yes. All right, well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. And good luck with those upcoming Birdland gigs. Make sure you circle your calendar and all that. We're going to go to Kansas City right now in the 1920s, and one of the hot bands coming out of Kansas City at that time. It was a band that was made out of two fellows that were leading the band, a guy named Carlton Kuhn on the drums and Joe Sanders at the piano. They started as a duo about 1918, 1919, playing together and singing, and they said, hey, you know, we got to get a bigger band. And eventually, like Topsy, it just kept on growing and growing, and here it is. And here's one of the tunes that Joe Sanders wrote. They became the Nighthawks, by the way, and that's where we got our name. We try to keep people up late at night and if we can keep them up till 10 p.m., we're lucky. This is a Joe Sanders composition called Brainstorm. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a crazy song, but there were some funny songs back then. Brainstorm, a lot of Joe Boga there playing. You know, the Nighthawks get requests from time to time, and one of our policies is we take requests, but we don't play them. Well, anyway, this has been in the request bucket for, I don't know, maybe a year, and somebody wrote in email and said, "How come you never play any Furry Grofet?" I said, "Well, you know, because I don't. You ask, you ring, and I bring," and that's what I did. I brought a tune that Furry Grofet wrote originally in 1926 when he was arranging for the Paul Whiteman Band, and he had arranged just about all the early Whiteman arrangements of the time, and also the original Rhapsody in Blue. And he decides to start writing some suites, and he wrote this thing called the Mississippi Suite, and it came off pretty good for those years. And here's some more parts here. And one of the pieces of the Mississippi Suite was called Mardi Gras, and I don't know who decided this. Let's take that little piece of music and make a foxtrot out of it. And I think Tommy Dorsey recorded it like in the 30s. It's called Daybreak. It's a nice, beautiful tune here. Give you a little change of pace here. Daybreak by Furry Grofet, 1926 is a 1940s arrangement. Guys, I don't know how long this is going to be, so why don't we take the second ending on this? There you go. Because the dancers didn't show up tonight. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. tune by Ferdy Grofé, Daybreak, from the Mississippi Suite from Mardi Gras. All right, put that one back in and we'll play that again next year. Okay, to keep it up. All right, well, while we're in the request mode, we're going to keep up with that and play a strange tune that was written back about 1934. A band leader, a wonderful fellow named Joe Hames, who made his career in the early days writing arrangements for Ted Weems, and then eventually he formed a band and he sold it to Tommy Dorsey, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he makes this arrangement and tune with a fellow named Spud Murphy, who was a pretty big arranger in those days, and they put it together and it's called Goblin Market. And I have no idea what all that's about, but here's some parts for you here. And I know I had Peter Yaron listen to the piano part. Piano man was named Paul Mitchell. I don't know who Paul Mitchell was, but he played a heck of a lot of piano. The Goblin Market. Do you have a part there, Mike? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, we'll put the sax here. Good luck, everybody. This is kind of modernistic. If it sounds weird, it is. Okay, it is. Goblin Market. Good luck. Make sure everyone's got their right parts. Okay. 1, 2, 1, good. Sax playing the Bud Freeman solo. Bud Freeman was in that band at that time, and Peter Yaron back there, and that wonderful modernistic piano solo. That was a lot of like whole tone stuff, huh? Yeah, a lot of whole tone. Very, very modern. That's it. Okay. Well, here's a song that we play every show because we love this fellow so much. His name is Louis Armstrong. I'm sure you've heard of Louis Armstrong. Okay, good. Just curious, are there any people out there that have gone to the Louis Armstrong House Museum? Oh, great, wow. How wonderful. So you know about it. It's really great. A lot of Lewis's artifacts there. His 2 trumpets are on display. He had more, but and both the fellows playing here tonight have played on those horns, and there's a lot of memorabilia, and of course a lot of even his vocal little bits and pieces that he recorded. He recorded a lot of stuff on tape. Anyhow, we hope you might get a chance to see it, and here's our little brochure that's on the table, and you folks from out of town, check it out. It's in Corona, Queens. I forget their schedule, you check it out. Okay, good, wow. Is anybody from Queens here tonight? How about that? We've never had a shout out for Queens, but I love Queens, it's great. Okay, I live in Kings, which is Brooklyn. Louis Armstrong was from New Orleans, and I just came back from New Orleans. I drove back about 80 boxes of music. That's another whole story. But Louis had a great time being a youngster in New Orleans once he got his musical act together, and he had a mentor named Joe Oliver, who was determined to get Louis to leave New Orleans and join him in Chicago. And he did. He finally got Louis to join him in Chicago, which was a great thing, not only for Louis, but for jazz, because more people could see him, and his career was on his way. So Louis was always grateful for Joe Oliver, also known as King Oliver, but to Louis, he was always called Papa Joe. So in 1928, Louis gets in the studio and says, hey, let's play one of Papa Joe's great tunes. It's a New Orleans tune called the West End, and it's the West End Blues. And here's John Kelso to tell you all about it. Doing Father Hines. Give him a nice hand. John Kelso there on that great Louis Armstrong solo. Very important. John has been leading a band at a wonderful club downtown. It's on Spring Street. It's way down there, called the Ear Inn. The Ear. And I pulled on my ear because really that's the name of the place. And so, being at the Ear for 18 years or so, he decided to name the band, because sometimes the guys change a little bit, called the Ear Regulars. The Ear Regulars, which I like. It's a good idea. Yeah. And he's got a new CD out there on the merch table. There's a lot of stuff on the merch table for you to check out if you like, you know. And we had Matt Musselman's playing a nice trombone solo. And our clarinet guys switched to something very uncomfortable called clarinet megaphones. There you are. Dan Pearson's got too much clarinet megaphone. He became a cornhead. Look out. So they weren't on the original recording. I decided to kind of, jazz it up a little bit for you folks, like a little more visual. Maybe if they had them back then, they might have used them. But actually, there's only one clarinet on the date. So there you go. At the piano, playing one of the great jazz soloists from the 20s up to like the 60s and 70s, a guy named Earl Father Hines, originally from Pittsburgh. Great pianist. You should check his work out. But if you can't check him out, check out Peter Yaron there playing that great solo. Yeah. And back in the percussion section was a rare instrument that was developed in the late 1920s. Drummers were always coming up with little wacky devices, or inventors, or both, and to get some new sounds. And this is definitely one. And when I first heard this West End blues as a young man, of course, after I played it 500 times, I started listening to other parts of it, because I was always listening to Louis and what's going on in the drum section. What is the drummer playing? And I don't know. It's not wood blocks. It's not little devices like that. It turns out it's called a Baccarat box cymbals. And show the folks the little Baccarat box cymbals. Yeah, that's Paul Wells on the Baccarat box. A few Baccarat box cymbals in captivity. Now, of course, we'd love you to listen to the original recording, and we'd also like you to check out our recording. And this is a piece of vinyl. I call it a piece of vinyl because it's not a long play record like most pieces of vinyl are, at 33 1/3. This was recorded at 78 RPM. What? Yeah. So if you buy it, make sure that you have a 3-speed turntable, okay? That's all I say. That's going to sound weird. It's going to sound weird. It's going to sound too slow. All right. Well, what do we got now? What do we got now? Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Let's do another request. Why not? Okay. We're going to go to Kansas City right now and play something that was a little band put together with a bass player named Walter Page. And Walter Page later was a big fellow in the Count Basie band. And back in the late 20s, Count Basie wound up in Kansas City playing with Benny Moten, and he did this little date on a very rare album, a very rare record called Walter Page and his Blue Devils, and it's called Swabbling, and we're going to play it for you right now. Back in 1929 this was recorded, and our good friend, the late Peter Eklund, transcribed this at about 2006. And I think there's a fourth saxophone part, which we don't have tonight, so I was wondering, Matt, if you would kind of play those cues. What do you think? Absolutely. You do the best you can. There you go. Okay, Swabbling. Here it is. Wow. Okay, good luck, everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alrighty. That's Squabbling. How about those guys reading that down? That was written by Count Basie back in 1929 when he first got into Kansas City. Yeah, keep that in the book. And Hot Lips Page was the original trumpet soloist, and that was John Kelso playing that. And Hot Lips Page, a major figure from the 20s and the 50s. And big hand there for Matt Musselman playing all those fourth saxophone cues. Peter Yaron at the piano. Nice, okay. And I think I got everybody. All right, Squabbling is the name of that. So when you go into your CD store, you won't find it there because you won't find any CD stores. All right, what? It's time to put away the charts and play some old-time traditional jazz. And here's John Kelso to give us something.
What do you think about Cakewalking Babies from Home?
I love that tune, Cakewalking Babies from Home. You got it. Are you going to do the verse too?
Sure.
Cakewalking's may come.
Flats?
Two flats? Okay. All right. So all you people out there in internet land, if you want to join us, you know, with your ukuleles or banjos or actually B flat, you can play a lot of it on your what's that Scottish bagpipes. Bagpipes play in B flat, but I wouldn't try it though. Okay. So with the verse. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sam Bartfeld. Yeah, man. Playing that slide trombone. Nice to get a great big banjo solo by Devin Cortan. Nice, good. And our pianist, Peter Yaron, made a little switcheroo. He went over to an instrument called the celeste or the celeste and used in classical music. Occasionally, fellows would play a little jazz on it, but Peter Yaron's got to be one of the last of the jazz celeste players, at least at Birdland. Play along with that jazz, that little celeste, whatever. Yeah. Nice. All right. Great. All right. Next is a fellow that I haven't seen in a long while. You know, he's a frequent band member of the Bruce Springsteen band and the Jazz Passengers. And the last time I saw him, we were doing the filming of Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. That's Sam Bartfeld on the amazing phono fiddle. There you go. Sam, it's been a long time. I understand you got some kind of wonderful news to report.
Yes, Vince?
Okay, get close to the microphone here,
Okay.
please.
Yes, Vince, my wife and I just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary.
You're 50. Wow, that's congratulations. Well, wait a minute, Sam. You're only 58 years old.
Well, what can I say, Vince? We were young and foolish. But in all seriousness, people do not infrequently come up to me and ask me the secret to a successful marriage. And I will tell you, Vince, shh. I will tell you, twice a week, my wife and I go to a nice restaurant, a little soft music, a little candlelight, a little dancing. She goes on Tuesdays and I go on Friday.
All right, keeping the tradition of Henny Youngman alive. That's Sam. And Sam, you don't have anything on the merch table to sell.
I know, next time I'll bring some.
But I've been doing a little investigating. You've been holding out because I noticed here that there's a new product out called Sweet Sam's Chocolate and Vanilla Whoopie Cookies.
Well, I better wear up.
And I had no idea you were making whoopee cookies, so I want to bring him over, give him his whoopee cookies so he can sell them later. Right, there you go. No, he can't throw them. They're too hard. I appreciate, there you go. You didn't know you had, the whoopee cookies are in Brooklyn now.
$50 a piece. Only tonight.
Exactly. We're going to eat tonight. And I appreciate the one person that applauded for my bass sax solo. No, it's okay. The more you drink, the better it sounds. And the more I drink, the better I think it sounds. Let me try it. How sweet it is. You go. Okay. Back there on the drums, playing that crazy timpani and a marvelous drum solo. That's Paul Wells.
Yeah.
Now, folks, you might want to know about this magazine. If you'd like to know more about traditional jazz or ragtime or early swing, this is really the only magazine publication that tells about it. And we have some copies over there. They're normally $4 a piece, but for you, they're free. And this cover story here is kind of a bittersweet thing because it covers our wonderful friend who we lost recently, the great Ken Poplowski. So you want to pick that up. Everybody remembers him as a marvelous player and fun man, and you name it. And he played with this band in the early days when he came to New York. We also have our little schedule. Is anyone from England here tonight? I guess not. Okay. And you want to check it out because we're here Mondays and Tuesdays, and I'm going to be giving out these little flyers or these little cards, and they're neat to put on your refrigerator or something, whatever, and maybe give to your concierge. Right now, Peter Yaron did not get a piano solo because he went over the cellist, and we're going to have him play a piano solo. What do you got cooking for us, Peter?
Do Rippling Waters by Willie the Lion Smith.
Oh, Rippling Waters by the Harlem Stride pianist Willie the Lion Smith. Smith. Well, today when before I was coming, I said, I talk about Sam and his whoopee cookie. So I figured, well, why not play that wonderful song that Eddie Cantor used to do called Making Whoopee? And that could be, when you get online, with your new product, maybe you'll hire us. We're one of the better, we're one of the cheaper bands in the lower price bracket. And this tune was introduced by Eddie Cantor in a film called Whoopee, and Walter Donaldson wrote it, and the great Gus Kahn wrote the lyrics. Let's see, I think we got everybody here. And this recording arrangement comes from England, from a wonderful band leader named Jack Hilton. Jack Hilton was one of the great band leaders of the 1920s and 30s and 40s. And in case you're ever in England, pardon me, sorry about that, there's a wonderful jazz event for you to go called the Whitley Bay Festival, November 6th to 8th. That's that going on. And I feel like Joe Franklin here with all this stuff. If everybody remembers Joe Franklin. And then there's a wonderful salute to Big Spiderbeck coming up on July 30th in Davenport. Anybody from the Midwest here? Is anyone here tonight? I don't know. Anyway, there he goes. So here is Making Whoopee by the Jack Hilton arrangement, arranged by Leo Vauchant or Leo Arnaud. He had two names. Done. 2, 1, 2, 3, to Birdland. Birdland is celebrating its 77th year of operation this year. Yeah. And there's a couple of reasons why. Of course, having people like you come and support live music, live jazz, and of course the programming that happens here at Birdland. We have this little brochure on the table, and it's pretty amazing to, looking through this here, the amount of talent that's here. You got the Birdland Big Band, you got Bill Charlotte coming in here, and hey, there's the Nighthawks. There's Dave Oswald and his Louis Armstrong Band, Frank Vignola. I mean, I can go on and on. There's Cabaret on Monday with Jim Caruso, and there it be. And the wild thing is that this place, Birdland, is open 365 days and nights a year. They do an afternoon show and a night show, and it's like we never close. So I think Birdland is world's greatest jazz nightclub. How about you? Yeah, there you go. So if you had a good time tonight, please take some time and write something nice in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, whatever. And it's hard keeping jazz alive, believe me. It's, we're not, anyway, that's all about that. And like I said, I'm going to give you these cards, and if you want to hand a card to your concierge, we'd greatly appreciate it. One of the hot bands in the 1920s was the Gene Goldcat Band. Had people like Vic Spiderbeck, Joe Venuti, Eddie Lang, Chauncey Morehouse, Bill Rank, Frankie Trumbar. I could go on naming everybody, but I can't. And Steve Brown played the bass. And there's a hot tune that my teacher arranged for the band, the Goldcat Band back in the 1920s. It's called My Pretty Girl. And here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Giordano and the Nighthawks. As Vince mentioned, the Nighthawks are here every Monday and Tuesday. And just a reminder, Birdland live streams its performances on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on YouTube at Radio Free Birdland. If you'd like to take the music home with you, there are CDs and LPs available. Be sure to visit with Carol at our CD cart. On behalf of all of us here at Birdland, we want to thank you for joining and arrive home safely.